Hello friends, this is a Unihertz Titan Pocket. It's a cute little phone. Looks like an old BlackBerry, but it's actually quite new and it runs Android. I want to do a review of this, but that's a lot of work, and knowing myself, it's gonna take another year or so before that happens. But before that, I'm going to show how to replace the earpiece in it, because there used to be a silver thingy here also, but the earpiece has gone to shit, presumably because of metal dust. I haven't been too kind to this little thing, and I use angle grinders and stuff for building stuff, and the speakers don't like that dust. I've taken it apart to get an idea of what's going on, and there was a lot of metal dust sticking to the speaker, so I think that's what went wrong. It doesn't work very well anymore, even the speaker on the back doesn't work too well, it sounds distorted. I measured it and I found this. They are earpieces for an LG K4, M160, M200 or some other phones. They look about like what was in there, and the dimensions somewhere here, they match up, so that's that. We'll see if it works. I've taken this apart before, so I kinda know what to do. But the first time I tried, I was really quite confused and I didn't get all the way in there, so maybe this will help someone. I didn't even bother to look up how to disassemble it though, so maybe there's already information out there. So I have to remove 4 screws from the back of this thing, and then you should be able to pop the back off. So there is some use to my disgustingly long fingernails. Oh shit. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't like about this phone. This thing's come off by itself because they didn't really glue it on very well. So I'll have to glue that back. We want the plastic part to come off. You don't need to remove this aluminium bit. It's just cosmetic. Plus it probably serves as something to do with the antenna. It touches these pins, so you do want it to stay on there. And this is not the original glue. I did that. Apparently I didn't glue it very well either. Now after this we have torques for those 4 screws on the back. And here I think we have to move on to like Phillips screws. So this is where I was stuck last time. I didn't realize we have to remove that thing first. So if I remember, there's 3 screws for that. Perhaps like do as I say and don't do as I do, and keep the screws more organized. This thing is already full of screws, so I'm kind of setting myself up for disaster here. No, that one doesn't want to come out. Now this thing will pop out, if I remember. Nicely, this is not attached with any stupid ribbon cables or something, so that's easy enough. And after that we can disconnect the battery. Seems it's disconnected itself already. I forgot to turn it off, so it's another thing you might want to do. Yep, that's the battery out, so now we have less worries about short-circuiting something, and nicely enough we can take it apart, at least this far, without removing the SIM thing. Now we have to remove this part, same screws. Don't mind the design of this so far. I think this one is only 2 screws. Now I believe we have to be careful for the camera ribbon cable and shit. There's this come out? Am I gonna destroy it? That don't feel right. What am I missing? Yeah, it just tilts up like this. And yeah, we've got that cable for the LEDs. And then now, what did I do last time? Yeah, yeah, so we do have to take this loose, but I don't know if we have to flip it up like that. There's other screws in this motherboard, big flat ones. Those ones have to come out. We have to take the entire board off to get to the earpiece. I remember this now. I forgot how many screws does this have. I guess we'll find out. There's also a lot of connectors that we have to release, and then be very careful about when we put the board back. Oh yeah, and now we do have to take out the SIM card. We need one of these things, or like a paper clip. And then now what? Is this gonna come out now? I forgot. If I remember, this side comes up first. But did I get all the screws? I don't think so. No, of course not. Some small Phillips screws here too. At the bottom. And then I recommend using a plastic tool instead, but YOLO. I feel some resistance. Oh yeah, it's just a connector. Ta-da! This is out. This is the other side of the board. Very uneventful. And here's pièce du caca. Stuck in with glue a little bit. And there's this little mesh on the front that didn't protect it. Tried to blow this off with a compressor and clean it, but like you can see, I poked this thing because I don't understand whether I'm looking like at the membrane or the magnet, because it just looks like solid metal, and it's not. It's some kind of a foil. Yeah, of course I destroyed it. And now we get a new one of these, and I forgot which way around this goes in. Yeah, it goes like that. And let's see how they compare. Seems the new one already has a mesh on it, and yeah, they're about the same thickness. Rotate it the right way around. Yeah, I didn't know if it showed. I removed this plastic, which reveals some adhesive on this thing. Now we drop that in, and we just do everything that we just did in reverse. And yeah, now is the annoying part. Have all these connectors. There's one of them. Maybe I should go like this. Yeah. Ah, fucking bitch. Hey. maybe a smarter man than I am would like hold these connectors back with tape or something. Of course, without my camera in the way, this isn't nearly as much as a problem. So hopefully, if you're playing along at home, you're gonna have an easier time. Yay! Okay, that wasn't too bad. Click. Is there anything under there? No, it would look like I have all of them. Nice. That's the old speaker. Okay. So, another thing to keep in mind if you're playing along at home is do take a look that all the screws are in the place that I'm saying they are, because I had this apart before and I don't keep notes or anything because yeah, it's just a cheap telephone. This thing goes for about 200 euros. At least it was when I bought it in my memory. And for that price I think it's quite nice. It is of course a rather slow MediaTek chipset, but it keeps up. It's alright. The only downside is because it's MediaTek, you don't get like an easy time to find custom firmware. I haven't investigated that, I haven't had time. It does work as a phone, like just using it stupidly, and it keeps asking me to log into Google. I keep saying no, and that's like the extent of research I've done about software on this thing. So if I want to do a review, I think I'm gonna like ask some people and try some things, but I just haven't had time for that. And this one still has one of the screws in it, and this is going surprisingly smoothly. I'm kind of expecting that when it's all together I'm gonna find out I forgot something big. It never goes this easily. Anyway, let's turn it on already. Still turns on. Alright, now I'll put the SIM card back and we'll try to make a phone call. Hi! There's no extra screws, just the 4 to put the back on. But first we'll test it. I've called some free number and it damn well works. It's a little bit quiet, but it's not bad. It's miles better than this piece of trash, so I'm happy. I don't think you can hear it. Maybe if I hold it close. So yeah, nice. I will glue this back off camera because obviously I don't really know what I'm doing with that anyway. But thank you for watching and goodbye.